What is going on, guys? Gonna be doing some Pokemon Gen 1 challenge run. I've tried this a few times with Pokemon Yellow, and I actually have 3 different copies of Yellow, but for some reason the save file gets deleted, and I've replaced the batteries quite a few times, and I'm pretty sure I've done it correctly. I'm not a professional solderer or anything, so I could be making mistakes. I had a cartridge save and keep the save, but eventually it deletes it. So I cleaned out my GameCube player, my GameCube Game Boy player. I cleaned out my Game Boy, just took some IPA and just cleaned out the connections and everything. But we'll see if it works this time. I think this time I may try yellow one more time. If it doesn't work, so be it. I'm not going to upload any of these videos until I am completely done, just to be safe, because I get like roughly halfway through the game and my file gets deleted. So I'm not upset about it. I mean, at the time, I'm a little salty, but Pokemon is one of those games I can restart and I'd be completely fine with. And at least this time, I'm gonna have a different team. As you see, there's a wheel here, and what I'm gonna be doing is a challenge run. Some of these rules probably made up by some other people, but I I feel like I am kind of like the father of this, the daddy, I guess. So this isn't going to be a Nuzlocke. So the first Pokemon I run into in a route isn't the one I have to catch. And if my Pokemon faint, I don't have to release them. That technically like means they're dead. So that's not going to be how that goes. I'm going to have every generation, I'm going to have to use at least 3 new Pokemon from that generation. Since this is Gen 1, everything is new. I will include later evolutions as well. So, for an example, Tangela gets Tangrowth in a later generation. Tangrowth would count, but I have to have it till it evolves to Tangrowth. Anyway, rule number 3, I have to use 2 types in this walkthrough, let's play, challenge run, whatever, for the next one, which I have a crystal that saves, and I've beat the game and everything, and I go to it and I breed and everything, so I'm just going to probably use that. Just get rid of the file. I'll send some Pokemon over to like a gold or something, because I do have quite a few copies of Pokemon, at least on Game Boys. And I'll just trade over, restart my crystal. So 2 types are going to have to move over. You guys are going to vote on one. I'm not sure how I'm going to have that work. If, let's say, I get Bug and Bug is overwhelmingly popular or whatever in my videos, or if I set up something somewhere where you guys can vote, or just keep track of votes, I guess. I don't know. I will use the type you guys vote on, and then I'll pick one. So I'm really debating on getting rid of like Ghost and Dragon, just because I really want this to be like an underrated team with like underrated Pokemon. Although I could do, I mean, Ghastly and Haunter, Gengar for sure, because I do have multiple Game Boys and a trade cable. I don't know, because there's only one line of each Ghost and Dragon in Gen 1. Um, let's see. I'm not going to use any legendaries. I will catch them. I'll even show you how to do the Mew glitch. It's pretty simple. I'll catch the legendaries. I won't use them. I can't have the same type chosen randomly. So, for an example, I'm going to spin this wheel 6 times. Let's say I get fire, water, and then fire. I get a free reroll there because I already have fire. If that makes sense. Once when I get all 6 types, I'm going to give myself 5 rerolls 5. Why do you say 5 if you have 6 Pokemon? I'm going with 5 because that forces me to have to pick at least one of these to stick with. Odds are I'll get, let's say, 2, 3, maybe 4 types that I'm okay with. And as you can see, I have a team planner here. When I'm done, I'm going to go through and be like, oh yeah, let's just do this team or whatever. I'm going to go through and make a team with those types. And I can only have one of each type. So for an example, I could do like grass and poison and do, let's say, Venusaur and Victory Bell, grass and poison. One could be grass, one could be poison. Not a smart idea, but I could do that. I could also do, since yellow is the special edition, Charizard gets flying in yellow. I can't remember if he has flying in red and blue, but he can learn the move fly in yellow. I'm not going to use starters. I could, but they're popular, and I'm going to try to just stay away from them. There's an example for you. Trying to find, I think he's straight dragon. He's flying. Perfect. So Dragonite gets flying in for his second type. I could use him for flying, for an example, but I have to keep Dragonite, or I have to keep Dratini, evolve it to Dragonair, evolve Dragonair to Dragonite to get flying before I can switch to something else. Or for an example, I catch a Pidgey early on, and I'm like, you know what? I really don't want Pidgey. I want something else. Gyarados. I have to keep Magikarp until it gets flying. Or that actually it wouldn't matter in that case, because I'd be evolving the Magikarp into Gyarados. But if I wanted, say, to switch to Pidgey, and I have a Magikarp, I do got to evolve it to Gyarados, and then I can dump the Gyarados off for the Pidgey, if that makes sense. Kind of a little rule I made up. But 5 rerolls. After all 6 types are chosen, I will have 5 rerolls. And again, the same concept applies. Like if I have fire already and I get fire, that won't count. So let's say I reroll bug because bug is atrocious in Gen 1, and I get fire and I already had fire. That's a free reroll. Won't count because I can't have 2 fire. And if I'm going from the type to the same type, so if I reroll bug and I get bug again, that won't count either. But if I go bug and I reroll it to like ice, and I don't have ice, and then I reroll ice to bug again, that counts. That's 2 rerolls right there. So let's get rid of Dark and Fairy for starters because they aren't in Gen 1. Neither is Steel. Pokemon that do have those types are present, but those types don't exist. So, and Fairy type is actually one of my favorites. Super powerful typing. And I do plan on playing through this multiple times. I'd like to do like a long play where I make the best possible team as possible. I want to do a bug monotype run for a lot of Pokemon games because I do feel like bug type is underrated, but Gen 1, it just sucks ass. It's bad. So I'd like to do a bug type mono run. What that means, monotype run, is I take, and there's really only a limited amount of bugs you can really do in Gen 1. You do something like this, where you take straight up just bugs, and you roll with it. I know there's another one. Where you at? There you are. So this, bug, 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 bug. Yes, there's flying, poison, poison, flying, grass, but the main thing is they have that bug typing. So that would be pretty much the exact team I would use. I'd probably do some trading because it just makes it a little bit easier in the beginning just to have them. So Yeah. Let's see. I'm really debating on getting rid of that ghost and dragon just because this is a underrated kind of a thing. I will put them back. The next one I will do will be crystal and then emerald, probably. So I will get rid of dragon and ghost because there's only one type, one family of each of those types. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Gengar. Dragonite is derpy as hell. It's just, yeah, it's they're super popular, and I'm trying to aim for like less popular Pokemon here. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Like I said, I want to do that bug monotype run. I want to do the long play with no commentary, just straight up beginning to end. And that I probably won't do any trading. I can make a pretty powerful team. And that I probably would do the starters. At least Charizard. Because getting the fire type is like late game kind of stuff. Ice is pretty late game as well. So we'll see how that goes. And then I would like to do like a Team Rocket thing where I use Pokemon that Team Rocket tends to use, and not just like Jesse and James, but just Team Rocket in general. And there's stuff like try to avoid battling Team Rocket as much as possible. I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm just going to destroy them all. So yeah, here's the typings. We have water, psychic, grass, fire, poison, rock, ground, normal, flying, fighting, electric, ice, and bug. 13 types. 6 of them are going to be on our team. And like I said, I got rid of Ghost and Dragon simply because they're super popular. And if they were here, I wouldn't be upset. But I just want to give some underrated Pokemon some love. So that's why I want to do that bug monotype run. Anyway, first type with our first roll is going to be, looks like poison. Next type is going to be, oops. We got a water question mark. Yep. I'm going to see if I can like, oh, there we go. The bug and the water were like touching and didn't have a clear separation. So we got water here. We already have water. We're going to re-roll. We got a grass. Number 4 is going to be fighting. Number 5. Rock. And number 6. There's that dreaded bug. So bug type is going to get re-rolled right away. First re-roll, we're re-rolling the bug type to get ice. We can live with ice. Let's re-roll. Let's do that first poison. Is that what we want to do? Poison? Yeah, we'll re-roll the poison type with our second re-roll to get. Okay, we already went from poison to poison, so free re-roll. We already have rock. Personally, I like this team. We could have a fire type. That'd be nice. Fire would be nice. We have ice already. Electric. What was I re-rolling? Poison? Was that the poison? I hope so. Let's put electric. I don't usually use electric very often, but we will try it out. It makes me kind of want to use like an Electabuzz because I don't really ever use Electabuzz. But plenty of electric types. Electric, water, grass, fighting, rock, ice. I think I re-rolled the poison. I'm kind of stupid and never pay attention, so let's re-roll the water type. With our third re-roll, water, I'd like a fire type, and I will probably stop spinning. Psychic would be nice, but I'm going to re-roll the Psychic with our fourth re-roll. Fire type would be awesome. Just saying. Psychic to Psychic. Fire type, and I'm probably done. Oh, you fucker. I just re-rolled that from Psychic to water to water. Last re-roll, water. I'm going to get rid of the water type. Okay, we have fighting and grass. Oh, stay. Thank God. Holy. Thank you. All right. That's not a bad team. I can think of plenty Pokemon, but a fire type would be nice. Just for some grass coverage and ice and stuff like that. Ice is great for the end. I wouldn't have minded the water type, but I already have an idea in mind for what I'm gonna do. So, plenty of options here. So, the team we have is going to be electric, fire, grass, fighting, rock, and ice. We could keep the Pikachu until we get something else, but I'm probably going to do a fair bit of trading. The only problem with trading is I encountered this when I was doing this before, when my file got deleted. The only problem with trading is the obedience thing, because after a certain level, they'll be like, the Pokemon will just be like, no, fuck you, I ain't listening to you. And it is a pain in the ass. An absolute pain in the ass. You'll have, like, especially early on, you'll have, like, a grass type against the first two gyms, and it just won't listen. And it just takes forever to kill anything, and then it ends up getting killed, and it's like you were literally my ace for that whole battle, and you died. So, some of these, I might have to keep the Pikachu for a little while, and maybe catch something, but I do have Pokemon in mind for all of these types. So I'm going to make a team, see the coverages, see whatever, move stuff around if I have to, and we'll take it from there. I think this is going to be a great team, great underrated team with Pokemon that just don't get used very often. The electric type, I'm debating on a few different ones. Like I said, Electabuzz, I've never used Electabuzz really, so that'd be kind of fun to use and whatever. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna pause this. I'm actually gonna end the video. I'll combine it with a video of me playing. Actually, you know what? Let me pause this. We're gonna go straight to Pokemon Yellow. Get everything set up. Hopefully it doesn't delete this time, because that would suck. Anyway, I will be right back. Alright guys, I am back. Now this is the Game Boy player for the GameCube. So this isn't an emulator or anything like that. And and I can do widescreen, full screen, whatever. I know people probably like widescreen better. But here we go. It says the file is still there, but we shall see. I'll play this for a little bit and then get to a point where I can trade. Do a little bit of trading, and then I'm gonna catch stuff just to be able to trade off. What is our name? You know what, let's just go with Ash. Since yellow is more so follows the anime. This is Gary. I usually would call him Gary anyway, or Blue. Most of the time I do play as like red and blue. Or I'll use my own name, I guess. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully the file stays. But as a reminder, the typings we have are electric, fire, grass, fighting, rock, and ice. Some things I'm going to have an HM slave for, so I will show you the Mew glitch. I'll catch Mew. Mew's probably going to be my HM slave. And what that means is a Pokemon that just can use a bunch of HMs. And Mew is great because it can learn any move. Any TM, I should say. Come in this grass here, you can walk through here all you want. You're not going to run into anything. You got to go through the next set of grass. And then Oak comes out, tells you, hey, you can't be doing that. Oh. And here's a difference between red, yellow, and blue. Or red and blue, and difference between red and blue and yellow is this battle doesn't happen in red and blue. He just leads us back to his lab. Forgot the word for lab at first. I was gonna say it's professor place. Professor place. Alright, so there's Gary. Come by later, whatever. So I don't remember who this technically would be in red and blue, but Gary snatches it up. Red and blue, we get the first choice, which, I mean, isn't bad, but Gary always chooses our weakness. So if you go with Charmander, a fire type, he'll pick Squirtle, a water type. And then his whole team is centered around who you chose, and yeah. We're not going to nickname Pikachu, but Gary's going to want to battle. So that's why I took out that potion, especially in the other two games, red and blue. It's very helpful to have that potion, just in case. So depending on how these battles go, there's two battles early on we can do. Depending on how they go is how Gary will evolve his Eevee. So for an example, let me look it up quick. So, if we win this battle, and there's another battle early on, it's an optional one. This one is not optional. This is a mandatory fight. If we win this fight and another one, the optional one, it evolves into a specific evolution. I'm not going to say who. If we lose one of these battles, like if we lose this one, or the next one, or if we win this one and we pass the Route 22 battle, it's on Route 22, it'll evolve into another one. And if we lose at the lab, and we lose or we pass up the other one, it'll evolve into another one. So if we lose one of the battles, or we pass up, it's kind of hard to explain. So the second one is if we lose one of them or we pass up the optional one, it'll evolve into a different one. If we lose this battle, that's kind of weird. I don't know, that's kind of confusing. Maybe this is a little bit easier. Lose the battle, lab battle, and lose or skip Route 2 battle. Let's blink, win the lab battle, and lose or skip the 22 battle. There's another one. And we win both, it'll evolve into a other one. So that's a little bit easier to explain. So lose a lab battle, and lose or skip the 22 battle. So that makes more sense. So we won this battle. So since we won this battle, one of the evolutions is out. Because we have to lose this one and lose or skip the 22 battle. And that would be, I'm going to spoil it, that would be Vaporeon. So he's not going to have Vaporeon. The water type evolution. There's generally one that people see the most because they generally win both battles. And you can lose this battle. It doesn't, like, make you re-battle. You can lose this battle. And you can lose the Route 22 battle as well. So, let's go up, and you notice Pikachu doesn't like to stay in his Pokeball. That's a indication of the anime. And I'm going to do a little bit of trading, but before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm going to do some TMs and stuff, and I want to make sure I can trade those Pokemon with those moves. So we get a potion, and I'm letting you know right now, a couple of them are going to have to be a higher level, because I can't get them lower. But for the most part, like 3 of the 6 are babies. Like level 5s that I hatched. Or caught at level 5, I guess. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to catch something to train. Because, like I said, the whole obedience thing is a pain in the ass. So we'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, this is the Pokemart. Come in here. He's gonna be like, "Oh, I got a package for you for Professor Oak." So we'll go deliver the parcel. So we gotta run all the way back. And fun thing with this game is, if your Pikachu's full health, Pikachu doesn't really like us right now. Just spam potions. It says it's not having an effect, but it's having an effect on his happiness. And you do this for a couple minutes. And he'll become happier. He's happy. And that actually does have a little bit of an impact. You can get... I think one of the starters depends on how happy your Pikachu is. So anyway, I will catch Pokemon because I want to get some items. One of them's a HM, which is, I believe, Flash. Not super necessary, but it helps. Which it lights up caves and lowers accuracy, stuff like that in battle, but it's not really a battle move that I use. So give him Oak's Parcel. Here's Gary. We're not going to battle him again. Alright, so we get Pokedex, which is the thing on the top left there. Little book-looking thing. So, basically, I think we gotta catch like 10 Pokemon, something like that. 15. And then we can get Flash. Which isn't a whole lot of Pokemon, but I will still have to catch some. So, let's see what he has to say. Pokemon around the world wait for us, whatever. It's kind of a fun game just because Pikachu follows you around, but I will be getting rid of the Pikachu. Come to Gary's sister here, and she'll give you a map. If you're new to the game, the map can really help. Surprised we didn't run into anything there. Alright, so let's go get some Pokeballs. I do have to catch some stuff so I can trade. So let's do the max 15. Come over here. Go up this way. I believe there's a potion up here that we can collect. It is a potion. We'll go back down. Go to the left here. This upcoming area is Route 22. And up here is where we'll face Gary again, but don't go up there, because you go up and then slightly to the left, we'll battle Gary. This is Nidoran. There's a female sign, so this is Nidoran female. It's a poison type. Once fully evolved, it gets a ground typing as well, which is a very good Pokemon. The male is usually generally considered to be better. Perfect, got it. On the first try. And they can break out of Pokeballs. If you're new to Pokemon, they can break out. Sorry, I skipped that Pokedex thing there. If you wanted to read it, I guess. Nidoran female, a mild-mannered Pokemon that does not like to fight. Beware its small horns secrete venom. That's where the poison comes from. Very, very good Pokemon. Both the female and the male version, but like I said, the male is generally considered to be better. kind of thinking about catching another one just to have another trade Pokemon since we ran into it. Now, your Pokedex number only counts the ones that you have caught and that are new. So this isn't going to count for another Pokedex entry. And the Pokedex all depends on how many you own. So to get Flash, you have to own like 15 different types. There's like XP all in this game because Pokemon can't hold items. Here's a Spearow. And we very well could kill this one shot, so let's just try throwing Pokeball at it first. If it breaks out, yep, I'm just gonna attack it. Heck is a flying type move. And we're electric, so that doesn't do a whole lot of damage to us. I thought that was gonna happen, but that's okay. I didn't want to pull out the Nidoran and mess around with that for a while. Here is a fantastic Pokemon. This is the one that I'm thinking about keeping for a while. This is Mankey, fighting type. Very, very good against the first gym. And it's a good level, too. Alright. Sorry, I had a Facebook message about a fantasy football thing. An agile Pokemon that lives in trees, that angers easily and will not hesitate to attack anything. It's a fighting type. Like I said, very good Pokemon. We're probably going to keep that. Although one of the Pokemon I'm going to trade has fighting. So see if this defeats Mankey. It shouldn't. I don't really want to use a potion. We have, what, 4 Pokemon now that we can trade? 3, technically. So I'm not going to keep Nidorans, although super easy to evolve them fully at a low level, lowish, I should say. Level 16. You can have a fully evolved, very strong Pokemon at level 16. And one of them is what I would plan on using for a long play. It's absolutely broken. So there's a Rattata. Let's catch one more. And then we'll be good there. And here's the male. And the annoying ass noise is basically the game telling you your Pokemon's almost dead. Or fainted, I should say. Alright, we caught Nidoran male. Large ears are always kept upright. If it senses danger, it will attack with a poisonous sting. And we'll read what Rattata said. Like I said, don't go up to the left because we're not ready for that yet. Rattata says, will chew on anything with its fangs. If you see one, it is certain that 40 more live in the area. So they mate like bunnies, I guess. Go to the Pokemon Center. This is where you heal. And there's a Pokemon box as well. And that you can deposit, withdraw Pokemon. If you already have 6 Pokemon with you, it will put the Pokemon that you just caught into the box. You do have to keep an eye on that though, because it will, if one of your boxes is full, you can't catch anything. So if you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go catch this legendary Pokemon, your box is full, you're out of luck. So make sure you do that before. This is our item box. We can deposit items. So let's say you don't need the town map, you can just deposit your town map. Your item bag can fill up, and you can be without items, being able to pick up items. So you'll have to deposit stuff. Keep that in mind as well. So I'm thinking we'll trade the Nidorans and then the low level 3 Mankey. But we'll see how that goes. One of the Pokemon I'm planning on trading does get a fighting type. So, spoiler alert for you, I guess. Anyway, that's probably going to be it for this video. I'm going to grab my other Game Boy, do some trading. And I will bring you guys in when I'm done. So, if you want to trade, come to this little area here, and you gotta have your Game Boys connected. And yeah, if you're trading from Gen 2 to Gen 1, you do have to get to a certain point in the game, then you have to wait like 24 hours. Kind of a pain, but it's whatever. But without any further ado, that's going to be it for this part, guys. Thank you for watching the first part of Pokemon Yellow. Next part, I'm going to show you guys everything that I traded. Maybe do a little bit of training. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thank you for watching. I do really appreciate it. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, RCS. And I will catch you in the next video of Pokemon Yellow. See ya.